Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome back for another video. In today's video, we're going to take a look at Heroes of Mavia, Tectum, and Root Network to see if any of these have 100x potential or if they're just junk, whatever. I like all three of them, I'll say that up front, and so I'm excited to get on into this. But before we dive on in, this video is not financial advice. It is for entertainment purposes only. Please do your own research. I am not a financial advisor, and while I appreciate that so many of you are hopping in here from all over the place, you've got to hit that subscribe button. I make price target videos every day. I try to make multiple videos a day, try to go live as often as possible to keep up as much as possible with this rapidly evolving crypto space. Turn on the subscribe button, turn on the notification button as well. But without further ado, let me exit this slideshow and we'll dive on in with Heroes of Mavia. Mavia, okay. So it's a gaming crypto. There is a game that you could right now on Android or on Apple download on your phone. You can play the game. You can earn tokens. I am not a big fan of solo gaming cryptos. I like the ones who, I've talked about this before. You know, if you're thinking about the gold rush in the 1840s, 1850s, the ones who made the big winners of the gold rush were the people who supplied the rushers with tools, with shovels, with lots of things like that. Okay, so that is my mindset when I look at gaming, is I want to look at cryptocurrencies or blockchains projects that are building platforms for the games to develop. Now, Heroes of Mavia is a solo game, so it would have taken a lot for me to get excited about this. And there are certain things on their website that I am actually excited about with this project. And so, you know, you can see the game. The game itself is on par with other games that you can download on your phone. And for me, that's a big W for gaming. I've talked about this a ton. Crypto gaming is terrible. It is nowhere near the same level of user experience as with gaming out in the outside world. It's not even close. We have a lot of room to improve. So for an app, a phone app, to be on par with other games, checked it out myself. That sounds great. That sounds great to me. And you can earn cryptocurrency on this. They have a marketplace coming soon, a creator program that you can join now. There are a couple other things. This right here was very impressive to me. Binance Labs, Crypto.com, Block Capital, Animoca Brands. There's lots of, some of them I haven't heard of before. Animoca Brands I very much have heard. Let's see if any of these other ones really stick out. I mean, whatever the case, Binance Labs and Crypto.com and Block Capital, those are some names that I'm very familiar with. The fact that they're backed by some of these world-class partners, yeah, that sticks out to me. Another thing that sticks out to me is that they are very transparent with everything they're doing with their tokenomics. I usually have to do a lot of digging to find what the tokenomics are going to look like for a particular cryptocurrency. They just have it flat out on their website. And you got to understand with play-to-earn games that they are going to be inflationary over time. But I really, really like this timeline because it communicates to me the fact that this team, they believe in the project. If this was mostly like a 1 year or 2 year vesting schedule, that would communicate to me that this is a project that wants to take advantage of a bull run and then exit and be done, and this will die. But this this is going until 2030, these unlocks. And so that's huge. That's fantastic. You know, May of 2024, supply is going to be about 40 million. Let's see where it is according to coinmarketcap.com. It is 30 million right now. So this would be a concern if I didn't already see the tokenomics on the website. But 30 million right now, 12% in circulation. So my big fear, as I said, is that a lot of this would be done this year. But 30 million right now, May of 2024, what was that? Its supply is going to be about 40 million. And then August of 2024, it's going to be closer to 50 million. And then about 60 million in November of 2024. That's fine. Now, for newer cryptocurrencies, they're going to be more inflationary. So there's going to be about 2x of the supply in circulation towards the end of 2024 as it is right now. Considering the fact that they're not going to 100%, this is a doubling of the supply within 8 months is not ideal. But given the fact that this is a new cryptocurrency and given the fact that they have a lot of the supply being released over the years slowly, I'm willing to very much overlook that. This looks like a very solid project. It is brand new. at least according to CoinMarketCap.com. So it was first listed on CoinMarketCap.com on February 6th. This is probably going to go much higher. You got to be mindful. It is at a $182 million market cap. So 100x, that's not in the cards. It's not going to 18 billion, something like that. Not for a single player game. I would say for the ones that I've already talked about, the ones that are the shovel makers, that's more likely, but not for a single player game. But still, there's a lot of room to the upside for this, and I'm excited about that in that regard. Next, we have Tectum, the fastest blockchain for all industries. Tectum is the world's fastest blockchain, a lightning fast distributed ledger powering the superconductive digital financial environment of the future. All right, so I hear stuff like that, and I want to try to figure out what about Tectum sticks out to me, because none of that stuff impresses me. The fastest blockchain, that's fine. You know, they claim to exceed 1 million TPS and provide instant event status delivery and ownership updates. That's fine. That's what they're capable of doing. Are they actually doing those things? Do they have real transactions? No, people aren't doing 1 million transactions per second. Is there a future where this could happen? Sure. There's a heavy load of competition among layer ones. I mean, you can see they have comparisons here. Bitcoin 7 transactions a second, Ethereum 25, Litecoin 56, and it goes on and on. Phantom, and then Tectum at 1.3 million transactions per second. So what sticks out to me? Well, this sticks out to me. This is something that caused my ears to be a little bit perked here. We have crypto solutions for business. The Soft Note is the first ever transactionless product with instant payment, zero fee processing for an end user. The Soft Note has physical cash elements. For example, a Bitcoin Soft Note bill can be printed on paper, does not require confirmation from the Bitcoin network, incurs no fees, and has no geographical boundaries. And so what I'm picturing here is you own Bitcoin and you're transacting with Tectum as a layer one, that you don't have to go through the miserable process of transferring your crypto and selling it and all that stuff. But it's a simple process where on the front end, you don't have to worry about much at all about anything. But on the back end, there's work done to, if you spend Bitcoin, to subtract that from your wallet, from your account. That sounds really interesting. And that's why it would make sense if Tectum is wanting to envision a world where this would be real, that you'd have to have 1.3 million transactions per second. We're trying to get on Visa level here with transactions per second. In Tectum, if this is true, it's the closest thing that I've seen to it. We'll see. I mean, adoption really matters with all sorts of cryptos, and it could be that this is the best idea in the world, and yet you just never know what's actually going to be adopted. I pray to God it's not Ethereum. With their insane gas fees, it drives me crazy. So Tectum, $159 million market cap. Could it get to 15 billion? A layer one, that would be a very, very ideal scenario. We have to look at their tokenomics. It's 4.981 million in circulation. A little bit of a concern that I have is just looking at their volume. Rank number 352 in market cap, $3 million in volume over the last 24 hours. It's an 864 rank in volume. And here's what sticks out to me about something like this. The name just doesn't pop out. It's kind of, replace the T with an R, and that's the first thing that I think of, the first T in the name. It's the first thing that I think of, and it has a boring name. Can it overcome that? We've seen Algorand do well, but as far as outperforming the market from bottom to top, it hasn't really done something like that. And Algorand, in my opinion, has a very boring name. So looking at the tokenomics, it's a little confusing here because it gives a different information than what we're seeing on CoinMarketCap.com. So seed sale, that's 5%, 100% was launched. Liquidity, CEX, centralized exchange, and MM plus marketing ecosystem, 100% at launch. That's 55%. And then public scale, 100% at launch. And then team and advisors, that's locked up right now, and that's not going to be available until at 2025 at the earliest, which I think is going to be after the bull run. So that would communicate more of a 65% unlock. Maybe there's more of a releasing in circulation with the liquidity, the centralized exchange. No, excuse me. I'm not going to delete that. Sorry. Marketing, etc. But if we're going to go by coinmarketcap.com, it's somewhere, between 50 and 65% in dilution. We don't really have to worry about all that much over 2024 at least, seeing much of an increase in the circulating supply. So that's good. So $15.9 billion, a 100x. I mean, we saw Solana get up to 80 billion last run. That was the big winner. Avalanche got up to, I believe, 28 billion. That was like the second biggest winner. And so we're going to have a bigger crypto market cap this time. It just seems a little bit out of reach, but this looks like something that's going to, I do think that there's going to be enough hype and enough envisioning of a future where what Tectum is pushing can be a reality. So I like this. I like it a lot. All right, so moving on, Root Network. Root Network. Here's what you need to know about Root. It is, well, okay, let me just read it real quick and then I'll give you my thoughts. More than just a blockchain, the Root Network enables seamless user experience and asset interoperability across the open metaverse. So this is a metaverse gaming crypto, more metaverse than gaming. And so we're always going to dream about Ready Player One with metaverse. And we have different things that if Ready Player One is ever a reality, these things are going to be relics in the metaverse, and maybe they'll hold some nostalgic value. We have Decentraland, we have the Sandbox, something like Blocktopia or something, and this is much different than Blocktopia. This is trying to build Ready Player One, where this is the metaverse. And you hear the word interoperability. That's a certain buzzword in crypto, but we're talking about not just interoperability. We're talking about Root Network being the root that connects everything. Root Network being the metaverse. A couple other things about this, because sure, people are really excited about this. They're bullish about it. The chart, it dumped after initially launched, but then it's been doing just perfectly fine since then. So I just removed the initial launch. I don't pay attention to the initial launch. So looking at this, there's a couple other things that I want to point out here. The Root Network is an EVM, or Ethereum virtual machine compatible, built on Substrate, integrated into XRP Ledger and ETH, with other networks on the horizon, allowing content and accounts on those networks to access deeper functionality and more interoperability in the open metaverse. Who are the founders of Root Network? The Root Network is an open source community project founded by Futureverse. Futureverse is a global media tech powerhouse headquartered in Auckland, New Zealand, with offices all over the world. I am not familiar with Futureverse, but I read their white paper, and everything that I just mentioned is what Root Network is trying to be: an immersive experience, ownership. So decentralized metaverse versus what would happen in Ready Player One if Nolan Sorrento, I think that's his name, took over the metaverse there. It's like they're trying to build an open metaverse. The odds are stacked against anyone, but somebody has to emerge as the winner. It's like, when Apple was launched, there were thousands of competitors. Apple won along with a couple other ones. But there might have been other ones that had better tech. So is this a player in the game? Could it be the player in the game? It's low chance, but somebody's got to do it. So maybe it is Root, maybe not. You never know. Looking at their tokenomics, again, we have to look at that because 8.66% in circulation. And again, this just really communicates to me that they are trying to build something for the long haul, just like what I looked at with Tectum. You can see for the block reward bootstrap, this goes until 2029. Just slow unlocks for that. Liquidity providers got 100% vested at the token generation event, but Futureverse is not going to receive anything until 2026. The Dow Treasury is not going to receive anything until the middle of 2024. The advisors are not going to receive anything until late 2025. That communicates to me again that they're not here for a quick buck. So they are trying to build something. They're trying to build something solid for the long-term future. So where is this going to go? $80 million market cap. Could this go to $8 billion? Where did Decentraland go last time around? I'm pretty sure it was more than $8 billion. Let me see. I'm just going to pull it up real quick. I didn't even think about doing that. Now, we do have to be mindful that there's inflation, small inflation with this. So could Root Network go to $12 billion? Decentraland right now is at a $1.2 billion market cap. Let's see when this loads. CoinMarketCap.com is always very slow for me. So here we go. All time market cap. It peaked at $9 billion. So Decentraland is probably going to peak higher than that. Could we envision a time when Root Network could get to $9 billion, $10 billion, $12 billion? I mean, looking at Decentraland throughout 2021, Decentraland late 2020, early 2021 was a little over $100 million, and market cap got up to $9 billion. So who knows? Maybe this would be one of the plays, but could this get to $1 billion? It certainly can. Could it get to multiple billions? That would be around my entry, where I would consider taking things out. If we saw a big metaverse run, sure, and I do think that this is a euphoria play. I'd be buying some Root Network right about now. I'm very bullish on metaverse after Bitcoin crosses and holds its next all-time high. So again, heroes of Mavia, Tectum, Root Network. I'm not going to rank any of them, but I do like all of them, and I'm curious to see where these go. They can do very well over these next few weeks and months. But anyway, that is all I have for today. I hope you have a wonderful day, a wonderful rest of your week. I will most certainly be seeing you in another video. Peace.